Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and this is my first time really coming to you in 2021. I know I had a video that went up on Friday on New Year's Day and then again on Sunday for the part of the sew along, but this is my first time filming in 2021. So all that was pre-recorded before I took about a week off in between Christmas and New Year's. So happy New Year, everyone. And I just really quickly want to say I so appreciate all the comments, especially on the New Year's Day video. I was asking for what you guys want to see on the channel for the upcoming year. I'm just being really slow about answering those comments. So my goal is to have, by the end of the day today, all those be caught up with all of my comments. And hopefully emails too. I'm just very behind. I really took the week off and those really can rack up quickly when I do that, but it was much needed. Anyway, today I am here to talk about some plans. Now this is not necessarily my January plans. I don't really do those type of videos very often. These are more my winter plans, I guess, is probably. So this will kind of take me through probably January and through February when I'm still doing winter sewing, because usually about March, even though I'm still wearing winter clothing, I'm ready to kind of start switching gears into a little bit of transitional clothing and spring and that kind of thing. Even though winter doesn't leave here in Indiana until at least May, but that's okay. So yeah, I have a large stack here. And I had mentioned on Friday that I really kind of wanted to do a whole bunch of coats in January. And I'm not really sure how that's going to play out as far as my videos are concerned, like what types of videos I'm going to do in conjunction with that. But I have quite a few coats that are here planned. I have a couple of Sew the Looks that are planned here. And then I have my first one pattern 3 ways plans here as well. So let's delve in so that this video doesn't end up being very, very, very long. All right, so let's start off with the one pattern 3 ways. Okay, so I had thrown this out on the video on Friday and had a great response so far to it from what I've read so far. So what I think what I'm gonna do is this is actually, I'm gonna use this pattern, this Vogue pattern, because it's just a great button-up pattern. You can do like the pussy bow blouse or just a regular collared shirt. I've not sewn this one yet, so I don't know what kind of, if or, you know, what type of tweaks I may or may not wanna make. And I know that there are fisheye darts in the front and in the back, but I don't know, I would assume there's also a bust dart there. I have not looked at the pattern really closely, but this one is still available. But I'm thinking after this coat sew along is finished, I'm gonna do a sew along for this blouse in one of these fabrics. So probably this last one, just because I think it'll be easier to see. That way, if you guys are wanting to do this same pattern, I mean, the steps will be very, very similar, or maybe I'll do it in this one. Let me know. Let me know which of these fabrics you would like to see the sew along in. Anyway, so these are the 3 fabrics that I'm going to be playing around with. The first one I'm going to be using is this beautiful, you guys have seen this if you watched Vlogmas, this beautiful crepe de chine that I got from Minerva. Now this was a fabric in exchange for a post for them, so this is part of their Minerva makers. Anyway, I'm going to be using this one. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the sequins, and it's a digital print. It's a crepe de chine, and again, these darker colors are all colors of, they're browns, which is, of course, right up my alley. And I'm gonna make the pussy bow version of this pattern. It's basically the shirt that the gal has on, but I think if I have 2 meters of this. I am going to hack the sleeve to be a fuller, more, not overly balloon style, because some of those really big sleeves can just overwhelm, I'm only 5'2", can really overwhelm me, but I do like the idea of doing a very full sleeve. And with this one pattern 3 ways, I was kind of thinking I would break it up into 3 separate videos. So each shirt would have its own video, plus if I'm doing a sew along, you know, I could do that. Now, the reason I originally thought this might be cool for a sew along is because it is a crepe de chine, so it's a little bit slipperier. I mean, there's not a lot I do different with this kind of fabric other than I just starch the living daylights out of it. I wash and dry all my silk before I sew with it, and then after I have made something out of it, I will hand wash it or do it on the delicate cycle in my washer, and usually I will let it air dry, or sometimes I pop it into the dryer for just a little bit, just to kind of, it changes the hand of the silk a little bit, makes it a little softer when you toss it in the dryer. Not for the full time, but just for a little bit. Anyway, yeah, so that's gonna be one of the ways. But I also really wanna play around, there's a collar on this pattern as well. And I really want a light blue shirt, basically button-up shirt. So this is, I've had this in my stash for quite a while. I've made a dress out of it, and it's a lightweight denim and like a bleached denim that I got from Joann's quite a while ago. But I'm gonna do just the regular, you know, collared button-up shirt. Which is why I thought that might be kind of boring to do on this, because I did the shirt dress sew along right before the current coat sew along, and it's the same steps. Like that is the way I make all of my button-up shirts. The only difference is the hem, you know, and I'm not attaching a skirt to the shirt. So maybe I will do it on the crepe de chine. I just worry it won't be as easy to see because it's a busier print. Let me know what you think. Which you would rather see as a sew along. And this one I would do as the pussy bow blouse. This one I'm gonna do a button-up shirt with a collar. But again, I've already done those tutorials on the channel very recently. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna do a more classic tailored shirt out of this one. I just really want to play around with layering. Technically this isn't in my color palette for the colors that I had done, but I find that blues, especially light blues, are like a neutral. I don't know. I also have blue eye. Well, not really. They're actually kind of a green, but they come across as blue. So I think blues are a very universal color, I think, because we all have yellow in our skin. No matter what your skin tone is, there's underlying yellows in there, which means that that contrasting color to that is blue. That's why teals and blue are like universally flattering on pretty much everyone. But anyway, that being said, I just really want a blue shirt to wear under some of my sweaters. I was just with my sister and we were playing around with just adding texture and layers to outfits and stuff, and kind of, you know, we were going through her closet and putting together different outfits and stuff like that. All right, and then my last one for this, I'm gonna use this beautiful rayon. I played around with making this into pants, like loose flowing pants, into a skirt, but I think because that's black in there, and I just don't wear black, I think I'm gonna make it into a shirt. I think I'd have better luck pairing this with bottoms than I would pairing tops with this fabric. And I love this. This is, wine is definitely one of my colors. And I'm not really sure what version I'm gonna do on this one. I may make this one a little loose and oversized, you know, like omitting the waist darts and just making it more of, not a, I mean, this isn't plaid, or this isn't plaid, and this isn't a flannel shirt, but kind of that idea. Or maybe even making it more of a shacket, which I know a lot of people have been doing, where it's basically an overshirt is basically what it is. Just a layer where you're wearing it as a shirt slash jacket. I don't know, kind of playing around with that. So this will be the third one for that. Again, I don't have everything ironed out yet. And if I'm gonna be doing a sew along, I need to figure that out because those take me quite a while to do. But anyway, those are gonna be the 3 fabrics for my first one pattern 3 ways. And I had a lot of comments on maybe doing one pattern, it was even, I had a few patterns that were suggested on just doing one pattern, like one of those wearable, where it has all the different pieces in the pattern. What am I trying to say? Like a wardrobe pattern? And doing like a whole module and like just hacking the living daylights out of it just to get a full module, which would be a topper, 2 tops or 3 tops and 2 bottoms. Also, it was also, Nicole had recommended also, and I had mentioned this on Friday as well, of doing kind of just 3 different patterns and just different ways to hack it, like I am, like for this would be the top pattern, different ways to hack that to make all sorts of different types of tops, and then doing a bottom pattern for the bottoms, and then, you know, some sort of a topper pattern. So anyway, I'm still playing around with that, but this is gonna be my first one pattern 3 ways, and those are the 3 fabrics I'll be using for that. All right, next up, I'm gonna be doing a couple of sew the looks here soon. The first one, and I talked about this quite a bit, so I'll just kind of glance over it in Vlogmas if you were watching. This is a suiting weight wool and from Minerva, also in exchange for a post from them, so this is part of their Minerva Makers team. This is a bottle green, if you can kind of see that. And I'm basically wanting to recreate this Meghan Markle look. I have some merino wool that is coming from the fabric store online, the New Zealand store, that I think is gonna work for the sweater portion of this getup. But I'm also, in addition to the skirt, I'm also gonna make the Gertie, or the Charm Patterns by Gertie princess coat. I'm gonna do the shorter one. I think I'm gonna do the one with the peplum though. The tailored sleeve, just very, you know, just a short, cute, short crop jacket. But I think I could wear that with a ton of things, and I just love the idea of that as like a suit. and then being able to wear it monochromatically with the sweater or, you know, switch it up. So I'll be doing the Maritime tee for the top on this, which I don't have that fabric. I will definitely, I'm actually going to do a fabric haul, I think, as soon as everything I ordered after Christmas comes in. And then I'm going to be using the Charm Patterns Stanwyck skirt for the bottom part of this, and then the Princess Coat, also by Charm Patterns, for the top part. So I got all those in the Black Friday sale, and I'm ready to go on that. I have 3 meters. And again, it's a lightweight wool suiting. It's very pretty. Okay, and then for my, this is actually kind of 2 so the looks. So for the first one, I had posted the picture of this girl here. There was a lot of debate on whether that was palazzo pants she was wearing or a skirt. I don't think it really matters. Basically, it's just something loose and flowing on the bottom, and then a nice chunky cowl on the top, and then the big overcoat was kind of what sold it to me. I've already made the overcoat. I made that during Vlogmas if you watched any of that. Otherwise, I'm gonna make you wait. But I also have this beautiful sweater knit. This is a Rayon sweater knit that I got from Stanwyck Fabrics. Back during their fall style tour, I'd seen the sample for this and went ahead and bought myself some because it's so beautiful. It's pretty drapey, but I'm going to make the Sew House 7 toaster sweater out of this, and I'm going to do the cowl version, or the turtleneck version. Because it's so drapey, I think it'll give it more of a cowl effect, because this is very drapey fabric. It's a rayon sweater knit. I just love that color. And it's going to look so good. I'm looking at the coat over there. I also knitted myself a matching hat, mittens, and cowl to also go with that coat. So that all happened over the Christmas break. Got all that done. But anyway, this is going to be the toaster sweater, this gorgeous fabric here. And then for the bottoms, so I'd played around with that gridded shirting that I just showed you that I'm going to be making a shirt out of for the bottoms. But I think instead I'm going to use my pleather. So this is the pleather. I got at Joann's quite a while ago, I don't know, back in the early fall. And I'm going to do a pair, I think, of Liana stretch jeans, but I think I'm going to crop them. So to get that look, the look, because it's all that monochromatic look. And then I'm going to wear my oxblood boots under these. I think that would be really, really cute. So it would almost be like the wide leg Dawn jeans that are cropped, you know, so just a little bit above my ankle, or like the Lander pants that you'll see cropped, that kind of look. But yeah, I think I'm going to use the Liana stretch jeans because this does have stretch to it. Unless, yeah, I think that's what I'll use. I think I mean, I've made that pattern. It works well. Yeah, I'm just going to crop it, because I want to. So I'll do the bootleg version and then crop it. But then I think that this will also spin off. I don't have plans for the shirt yet, but these pants I think will also work for this Sew the Look as well, which I had planned on doing the Liana stretch jeans for that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that shirt here in just a little bit, but that, yeah, those are the plans there. Just want to get all this stuff made up. And then finally, let's talk about coats. These are going to be take up the bulk of my time. We'll talk about this one first, just because it's staring. So this is a pleather from Minerva. Oh, hitting all the lights. It did not come on this roll. It came folded up, but pleather will crease, and I was trying to get, there are some creases in it, so I was trying to get it out. And this gorgeous, it's called Spiced Orange. Isn't that color fantastic? It's not as drapey as the pleather I just showed you, but it's pretty lightweight. I mean, you probably could do some bags with this, but I want to do a structured leather jacket, and I think I'm going to use this Vogue pattern right here. Someone had suggested it in the comments when I showed this on that Vlogmas video, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. Peplums are really good for me because I have very narrow hips, and so it really balances out my upper body. And so I bought that pattern. I went ahead and bought that Vogue pattern when in fact, the sale goes off today, but all of the Vogue, let's see, the Vogue patterns were $4.99, and then the McCall's Butterick and Quick Sew were all $2.99, and that included the digital patterns and the out of print patterns. So yeah, I went on a little, spent a little bit of Christmas money. But yes, I want this coat to be not the high-low hem version, but the one that's just the straight across. So I'm very excited about that. It's just a little bit of a twist on like a moto jacket. Again, this did not come on the roll. I just had a roll and I put it on it just because that's gonna, ugh. I just didn't want it crinkling. All right, so that is coat number 1. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for the lining on that. We'll figure that out. Coat number 2 is also Sew the Looks. Actually, these next two are also Sew the Looks. I got this beautiful wool. Also, you saw this on Vlogmas from Minerva. It's a wool poly blend. It's on a little bit on the thinner side. I'm just going to interline it with some flannel, and I think it's going to be absolutely perfect. There's the, this is actually more of a rust orange. This is coral, but I think it's going to be fine for the lining. This is like an acetate, a Bimberg. I don't think it's Bimberg. I think it's acetate. It's Lady McElroy. I'm pretty sure that this is an acetate, which is a, it's acetate and rayon are kind of come from the same family. Just a little different treatment. But anyway, or it's a Bimberg rayon. I can't remember. One of those two, they're similar. This may be rayon. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I'll link it down below. But I bought these. So these are both from Minerva, but I did buy both of these. And I'm going to be making, I want to recreate this look with them. And I'm going to be using the Bamboo Coat by Waffle Patterns. I bought that and I'm very excited about sewing that up. So I will be making that. And then, lots of piles here. I'm also going to be recreating, I think this is a J. Crew coat right here. This orange coat, and I also bought this wool from Minerva. Now this is another wool and poly blend. The quality on this is not great, to be honest. But for what I'm making, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's supposed to be like a Melton Wool-ish. I don't know. I think it's going to be fine. But it was very inexpensive, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. It's just that the back's all kind of pilly and stuff, and it's pretty thin. But it's this gorgeous orange, which is what I wanted, and I'm going to be recreating this coat right here, and I'm going to be using the same bamboo pattern, except there is a collar add-on that I'm going to be using, which is this coat. So it's you have to have the bamboo coat, and then this was like a very inexpensive pattern add-on to do the collar and stuff that I'm going to be using this for. And when I bought my bamboo, or the Waffle Patterns, they have like a ebook of like, I don't know, what is it, 21, 24 different pockets that you can put on a coat or whatever, just different instructions and pattern pieces and stuff for that, and I'm going to play around with that. But yes, I'm going to use this wool. It's more poly than it is wool, to be honest, but there is wool in there, with the same lining, but in this Robin's Egg Blue color, or Duck Egg Blue, I guess. So that's going to be that coat. And then, finally, now this is from, the orange pleather was also for the Minerva maker, so I was gifted that fabric, and I was also gifted this fabric. But oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. Look at this. This is a wool, I think this is a wool blend too, to be honest. But look at that large scale houndstooth. Is that not gorgeous? This is a rust orange here, and I'm going to be making, I joined my first ever Patreon, and for Gertie, I joined Gertie's Patreon group, and because she's just got some really cool patterns on there, and so I am going to do her swing coat that was the December pattern, I think, and I don't know if I'm going to do the longer version or the shorter version. I'm just going to kind of see what I've got. I'm going to print out the pattern and see what I've got. But another suggestion that someone had given me was, just using some retro patterns, whether that be Big Four, because they've re-released a whole bunch of those, or even just a retro, a vintage pattern that's in my stash, but then styling that in a more modern way and how to wear some of that stuff without looking too costumey. I don't do a lot of that, but I think that could be something really fun to look into and to play around with. So if that sounds interesting, obviously Gertie has very vintage inspired patterns as well, her charm pattern line. But anyway, and same thing with her Patreon. I'm very excited about quite a few of those patterns. So I have joined, and I'm going to make her swing coat out of this fabric here. I have no idea what I'm going to line it with, but we'll get to that when we cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, going forward, so those are hefty plans. I still have all the pajamas that I showed you at the end of December that I still need to make. None of that got finished before we left, but I will be working on those as well because I have little kids chomping at the bit for their PJs. But I also want to show you, I received a few sewing related gifts for Christmas, and I used some Christmas money, and let's see, I bought some buttons at Style Maker, I bought some fabric at Metro Textiles because he was having a 60% off sale, and I bought some fabric at the fabric store. I'm waiting on both of those to still get here. And what else did I... Oh, I ordered some patterns from that sale that I still want to show you guys. And actually I ordered some yarn, Miss Babs yarn. I've never used her stuff before, but she was having a 20% off sale off anything that was in stock. And so I bought enough to make a sweater for my daughter and also to make another sweater for myself at some point. So I will show you guys all that when it comes in here. But I'll probably do a big haul of, you know, I didn't get a lot of Christmas gifts, but one Christmas gift that I got is the Golden Rule pattern drafting. I cannot pronounce the German name for it. It starts with an L. But they've recently started, there's a gal that's selling them now in Canada, so in North America, and I put that on my Christmas list and got it. So I'm very excited. I'll probably wait and do, I want to make a couple of things from that and just kind of play around with that pattern drafting system and then share that with you guys as it comes. Okay. That's all I have for today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the little bit of vlog I was able to film this week, and then again on Friday for another video. Hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll see you then. Bye.